friend said that that I became very transactional in my dealings with her and other people. And at first, I was a little butthurt or a little offended over it until I took a little bit to realize that's where I had been working to get to. Wanted to get to the point to where the only people who are around, or the only people I interact with on extended periods of time, or more than just 3 or 4 times, were people who either I benefited from their time or they benefited from mine. And it's important to keep in mind that you can't just be in a situation or be the type of person who only receives. It sounds really good in theory to be all you're doing is getting from everyone. You only have people around that you're getting from. But at the same time, you have to be pouring into other people as well. Because if you're not the type of person who can increase the people around you, and the people around you aren't going to increase, and you're only going to be taking from the same level over and over and over, you're not going to build and benefit from that as well. So if you're not building up the people who are interacting with you, as well as receiving as much as possible, if you can find situations and relationships where it's mutual and you're receiving and they're receiving from each other, great. Unfortunately, not every relationship can be that way. Sometimes you have to understand and be okay with the fact that some relationships, it's going to be you giving out, you pouring out, you helping, you teaching, you increasing. Some relationships, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be where you're receiving and you're building. Now, being transactional, it sounds bad. I have to find a way or a better term for that. But we keep a lot of people around who are just dead space. And that drains us on several different ways. They're taking up space that someone else who is more beneficial, who is going to pour into you, who is going to take away from you in great ways, they're just dead space. And keeping in mind the fact that people only have a certain amount of time here. And for some people it's shorter, some people it's longer. You have to keep that in mind. So where you're spending your time has to be important. It has to be something valuable that someone somewhere is receiving value from, or you're receiving value from. At some point, you will have to, whether you acknowledge it earlier or whether you acknowledge it sooner or later, you're gonna have to acknowledge that there are just people who are taking up space. If you are great where you're at in life, great. If you're not, then you have to take inventory of yourself, the things that you're doing, the things that you're taking in, the things that you're putting out, to see if it's in line with what you want out of life, the type of person you want to be, where you want to be in life. If they're not, something clearly has to change. So being transactional in saying that either I'm paying out or someone is paying in, to me is actually a really great way to live, especially if you're looking at a point to where you want to be successful, or you want to get out of the lifestyle that you're in, that you were born into, that you've gotten yourself into. Being transactional is going to be what it has to be. At some point, you have to put your head down and do the work for whatever you want to do. Cutting out that extra space, making sure that you are paying into or paying out to the person that you want to be and where you want to be can be really important. If you made it this far, thank you. I love you. Appreciate you coming to the Sunday Sipper. And if this video meant anything to you, if you connected with it on a level, let me know. Slide into my DMs, message me, we'll talk about it. If not, or you know someone who would benefit from it in any way, shape, form, or fashion, send it to them. let them know. Pay out to them. So keep in mind moving forward this week and as much as possible the people who are only withdrawing in a bad way, or the people you're paying into in a bad way. And make sure that you start to just kind of like cut those accounts. Your life bank account only has so much money in it, so make sure you're not spending it and wasting it in bad places.